好，各位朋友晚安。今天晚上本来挣扎了一下，看是要接续昨天的On Leadership 那一篇很不错的文章，还是说赶快把 The Catcher in the Rye 的进度赶一赶，决定赶进度好了。那如果时间还够，精神还不错我再加开个午夜场，把 On Leadership 的下一页稍微解说一下，但这不确定啊因为不见得那个效果都很好，而且太晚了，有时候那个声音太大声也不太好，因为我的肺活量有时候突然一激动会突然发功，太大声了这样子传出去不太好。好，那我就先把我们的广读确实就是那个疗效，同学可以慢慢感受出来了就是用实作的方式很容易体会。如果我只是用嘴巴描述说大家不能这样，不能那样子同学会觉得违背你个人的认知有时候会没有办法交集。我就实做，你看我们稀里呼噜就到17章了100多页，159页，所以那个效果当然就是同学自行体会了这样才会得到阅读的乐趣跟阅读的效果这样子。那我就用朗读的方式朗读个4到5页，按照往常的惯例循往例，我就念个4到5页，然后等到正音跟解签的时候，我再来有念错的地方，我再来做修正我们就很轻松的把17章开始正式堂堂迈入第17章。那我也相信后面会越来越好看越来越精彩。好，我就开始直接朗读。I was way early when I got there, so I just sat down on one of those leather couches right near the clock in the lobby and watched the girls. A lot of schools were home for vacation already, and there were about 1 million girls sitting and standing around waiting for their dates to show up. Girls with their legs crossed, girls with their legs not crossed, girls with terrific legs, girls with lousy legs, girls that look like swell girls, girls that looks like they'd be bitches if you knew them. It was really nice sightseeing, if you know what I mean. In a way, it was sort of depressing, too, because you kept wondering what the hell would happen to all of them when they got out of school and college, I mean. You figure most of them would probably marry dopey guys that always talk about how many miles they get to a gallon in their goddamn cars. Guys that get sore and childish as hell if you beat them at golf or even just some stupid game like ping pong. Guys that are very mean, guys that never read books, guys that are very boring. But I have to be careful about that. I mean, about calling certain guys bores. I don't understand boring guys. I really don't. When I was at Elkin Hills, I roomed for about 2 months with this boy, Harris Macklin. He was very intelligent and all. But he was one of the biggest bores I ever met. He had one of these very raspy voices that he never stopped talking, practically. He never stopped talking, and what was awful was, he never said anything you wanted to hear in the first place, but he could do one thing. The son of a bitch could whistle better than anybody I ever heard. He'd be making his bed, or hanging up stuff in the closet. He was always hanging up stuff in the closet. It drove me crazy, and he'd be whistling while he did it. If he wasn't talking in this raspy voice, he could even whistle classical stuff, but most of the time, he just whistled jazz. He could take something very jazzy, like Tin Roof Blues, and whistle it to so nice and easy. Right while he was hanging stuff up in the closet, that it could kill you. Naturally, I never told him. I thought he was a terrific whistler. I mean, you don't just go up to somebody and say, "You're a terrific whistler." But I roomed with him for about 2 whole months, even though he bored me till I was half crazy, just because he was such a terrific whistler, the best I ever heard. So I don't know about boys. Maybe you shouldn't feel too sorry if you see some swell girl getting married to them. They don't hurt anybody, most of them, and maybe they're secretly or terrific whistler or something. Who the hell knows? Not me. Finally, old Sally started coming up the stairs, and I started down to meet her. She looked terrific. She really did. She had on this black coat and sort of a black beret. She hardly ever wore a hat, but that beret looked nice. The funny part is, I felt like marrying her the minute I saw her. I'm crazy. I didn't even like her much. But yet, all of a sudden, I felt like I was in love with her and wanted to marry her. I swear to God, I'm crazy. I admit it. "Holden," she said, "it's marvelous to see you. It's been ages." She had one of these very loud, embarrassing voices when you met her somewhere. She got away with it because she was so damn good looking. But it always gave me a pain in the ass. "Swell to see you," I said. I meant it too. "How are you, anyway?" "Absolutely marvelous. Am I late?" I told her not. I told her no, but she was around 10 minutes late. As a matter of fact, I didn't give a damn though. All that crap they have in cartoons in the Saturday Evening Post and all, showing guys on street corners looking sore as hell because their days are late, that's bunk. If a girl looks swell when he meets you, who gives a damn? If she's late? Nobody. "We better hurry," I said. "The show starts at 2:40. We started going down the stairs to where the taxi are. "What are we going to see?" she said. "I don't know. Lalance. That's all I could get tickets for." "Lalance? Oh, marvelous. I told you she'd go mad when she heard it was for the Lance." We horsed around a little bit in a cab on the way over to the theater. At first she didn't want to because she had her lipstick on and all, but I was being seductive as hell and she didn't have any alternative. Twice, when the goddamn cab stopped short in traffic, I damn near fell off the seat. Those damn drivers never even look where they're driving. They're going. I swear they don't. Then, just to show you how crazy I am, when we were coming out of this big clinch, I told her I loved her and all. It was a lie, of course. But the thing is, I meant it when I said it. I'm crazy. I swear to God I am. "Oh, darling, I love you too," she said. Then, right in the same damn breath, she said, "Promise me you'll let your hair grow. Crew cuts are getting corny, and your hair's so lovely." Lovely my ass. The show wasn't as bad as some I've seen. It was on the crappy side, though. It was about 500,000 years in the life of this one old couple. It starts out when they're young and all, and the girl's parents don't want her to marry the boy. But she marries him anyway. Then they keep getting older and older. The husband goes to war, and the wife has this brother that's a drunkard. I couldn't get very interested. I mean, I didn't care too much when anybody in the family died or anything. They were all just a bunch of actors. The husband and wife were a pretty nice old couple, very witty and all. But I couldn't get too interested in them. For one thing, they kept drinking tea or some goddamn thing all through the play. Every time you saw them, some butler was shoving some tea in front of them, or the wife was pouring it for somebody. And everybody kept coming in and going out all the time. You got dizzy watching people sit down and stand up. Alfred Lantz and Lane Fontaine were the old couple, and they were very good, but I didn't like them much. They were different though. I'll say that. They didn't act like people and they didn't act like actors. It's hard to explain. They acted more like they knew they were celebrities and all. I mean, they were good, but they were too good. When one of them got finished making a speech, the other one said something very fast right after it. It was supposed to be like people really talking and interrupting each other and all. The trouble was, it was too much like people talking and interrupting each other. They acted a little bit the way old Ernie, down in the village, plays the piano. If you do something too good, then after a while, if you don't watch it, you start showing off. And then you're not as good anymore. But anyway, they were the only ones in the show, the Lance, I mean, that looked like they had any real brands. I had to admit it. At the end of the first act, we went out with all the other jerks for a cigarette. What a deal that was. You never saw so many phonies in all your life. Everybody smoking their ears off and talking about the place so that everybody could hear and know how sharp they were. Some dopey movie actor was standing near us, having a cigarette. I don't know his name, but he always plays the part of a guy in a war movie that gets yellow before it's time to go over the top. He was with some gorgeous blonde, and the two of them were trying to be very blasé and all, like as if he didn't even know people were looking at him. Modest as hell. I got a big band out of it. Oh, Sally didn't talk much except to rave about the Lance because she was busy robbering and being charming. Then, all of a sudden, she saw some jerk she knew on the other side of the lobby. Some guy in one of those very dark gray flannel suits and one of those checkered vests. Strictly Ivy League. Big deal. He was standing next to the wall, smoking himself to death and looking bored as hell. Oh, Sally kept saying, I know that boy from somewhere. She always knew somebody. Any place you took her, or saw she did. She kept saying that till I got bored as hell, and I said to her, why don't you go on over and give him a big soul kiss? If you know him, he'll enjoy it. She got sore when I said that. Finally, though, the jerk noticed her and came over and said hello. You should have seen the way they said hello. You'd have thought they haven't seen each other in 20 years. You'd have thought they've taken baths in the same bathtub or something when they were little kids. Old buddy Ruth. It was nauseating. The funny part was they probably met each other just once at some phony party, finally, when they were all done slobbering around. Old Sally introduced us. His name was George something. I don't even remember. And he went to Andover. Big deal. You should have seen him when old Sally asked him how he liked the play. He was a kind of a phony that had to give themselves room when they answer somebody's question. He stepped back and stepped right on the lady's foot behind him. He probably broke every toe in her body. 40分钟了，哦，我念到165页，里面很多很好玩的地方，太好了啊！这个写到后面果然很有人生哲理在里面啊！165页，我看我念了几页了，1、2、3、4、5、6。哦，我念了6页了啊，超前以往的5页1页哦，所以今天功德圆满，大功告成。 看来我应该有时间可以再讲一页，下一个小单元哦，我再录个小单元，讲个一页的leadership 哦，今天应该分量就蛮够的。好，我们就今天 The Catcher in the Rye 的朗读哦，就先到这个地方，感谢同学，晚安。